Good morning, good morning. It's the Egotastic Fun Time. Good morning, good morning. The Egotastic Fun Time Show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Egotastic Fun Time surprise morning show this fine Sunday. What a beautiful day Avis has blessed me with. I don't know where you guys are. Maybe you got horrible weather. There's lots of places around this planet right now that has horrible weather. But today where I live, it is beautiful weather. And I thought I'd go ahead and do a live morning show. Why? We usually do a watch party. We usually do a ORVILLE watch party on Sundays. But I found out that there is a family gathering today that I am obliged to attend. So I won't have time later to do a watch party, but I have time this morning to do a talking live type of situation, to talk to you guys, wish you a good day today, get you set up and started to have a great positive time, enjoying the fandoms that you enjoy and the things you enjoy, the cups of coffee that you might enjoy if you drink coffee like I do at this time of day. I see people are showing up, joining this party. Kroom, how is it going? Hi, JP. Late afternoon here in UK, United Kingdom. Snow next week. Ooh, I hope we don't get snow. When we get snow here, it's very snowy. But sometimes it doesn't do that. So that's what I'm hoping, because I'm super excited, you guys. I'm super excited. Kroom, in just... Ooh, let me math it up a little bit. In 12 days, just 12 days from now, my mother is moving to my part of the world. She'll be 15 minutes away as opposed to 2 days away, which I've been dealing with for the last 13 years. So I'm super excited. I've missed so much over 13 years. Just get to see her every once in a while throughout that time. So I'm excited to regain that connection with my mom, because we both like each other. We're both fans of each other. We enjoy talking and reminiscing about the old days when I wasn't so old, and neither was she, I guess. Barry, what's up? What are the times that you do it live, JP? I usually on Sundays have been doing a 12 noon in PST time, Pacific time. Actually, it's 2 o'clock my time, but 12 o'clock Pacific time. I've been doing the watch parties on Sundays. I just don't have time to do that today because of a family function I'm going to be going to that I found out about recently. Brian Dawkins, what is going on? I'm sorry I missed your live streams to do work. Silly old work. Silly old live streams. No problem, Brian. I'm just happy when you're able to show up, but if you're not always able to, that is cool. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. We're just doing a morning show on a beautiful Sunday. I'm sure it might be Monday for some of you that show up, because that happens sometimes too. Curtis Tate, have a great stream. I have church this morning, but I will check back in an hour or so. Oh, I can tell you this is going to be probably an hour-long stream, Curtis, so it probably won't be up anymore. But of course, the replay will be there if you care about it. But we're just jabbering on here this morning. I just want to check in with you guys, see what you guys are up to. I have to go to a thing a little bit later, probably in about an hour and a half. I have to start getting ready for it. It'll be an most of the day type of thing. But I am excited because tonight, it is Sunday. Tonight is the penultimate episode of The Last of Us on HBOmax. The second to last episode before the finale. Does that math work out? Anyway, yeah, it's the second to last episode for this first season. I'm pretty sure I know everything that's going to happen because I played the game, and I play that game a lot. I'm a big fan of that game, and I'm sure they're going to stick to the same ending. The show tries to go off and do its own thing sometimes, and it does, but it always circles right back to where it needs to be. Jonathan Perez, starting earlier than usual. Yes, I only have time to do a chat show today. Don't have time to do a whole watch party. But I'll bring the watch party back maybe next Sunday, unless another thing comes up. But next Sunday, Yeah, it shouldn't be because wait, next Sunday. Yeah, because when my mom gets out here, I'm gonna be busy for days helping to move this her stuff into her new home and get everything set up and spending time. And my sister is coming out to help with the move as well, so I get to see my sister for a whole week while she's here, which is also amazing. I love my mom. I love my sister. I love both of my brothers. Hopefully, we'll be able to get them out here someday as well. No watch party, Chris. Don't have time today. There's a family thing, so I thought, well, I don't want to miss out on doing a live show. So I have time in the morning. I have to start getting ready for the family thing later in about an hour and a half. So I thought, well, I got enough time before I have to get ready. Let's do a live show. Hey, JB, what's up, Kevin Scott? Hey, JB, played an awesome symphony performance last night. Ooh, amazing. I was just talking about going to see a symphony, which I do sometimes because where I live, especially in the springtime, they do a lot of free symphonies in the park type of thing. We got a really great park out here, really great seating, great space in the middle of the city. They do free concerts all the time, and it's really great to go see the symphony play, and it's for free. Jim's Landscape LLC #1. Commodore Boone. Hello, Commodore Boone is here. Welcome, Commodore Boone. Moving is no joke. Oh, man, I can tell you that. Moving is one of the hardest things you can ever do. And that's when you always realize, I got too much stuff. I don't need this. What do I need this thing for? Oh, and look at that thing over there. What do I do with that? Doesn't matter because I got to put it in a box and move it. Kind of like salty chocolate balls. Put it in a box and move it. Yeah, but yeah, no watch party. So I figured I got time now to chat. So here we are. And so I've been watching stuff. I finished last night. I finished the Consultant with Christoph Waltz on Amazon Prime. Very strange show. I was pretty much enjoying it the whole time, but I was not happy with the finale at all. I was like, oh, the finale's kind of a letdown. It would have been fine if it was like an episode of The Twilight Zone, just an episode, not an 8-episode series. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the journey, just did not enjoy the lack of explanations at the end. Very free for me. I'll take 2 symphonies, please. JP, when we get your guitar solo? Well, last night, pain in the ass too. Last night I finally got a new set of strings for my fake Les Paul, right there in the middle. Yeah, right there. Finally restringed that SOB. But I haven't really got it up, and I haven't had time to plug it in to the amp yet and start messing around with it. But I'm gonna get back in prime what's the word? Prime condition, I guess. Not the greatest word when it comes to playing. So I don't know. I'll be practicing for a little while. Maybe I'll learn a little bit of some ORVILLE stuff. Teach myself some ORVILLE stuff and crank it out. Kevin Scott says couldn't get past the first episode. It was weird. It was barely keeping me interested the whole time. And then I was like, finally, it got to the last episode. I'm like, oh, we're going to learn what this is all about. Didn't learn a thing. Egotastic music time. But I like Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz is always interesting, no matter what he is playing, no matter what film he is in. And then in all interviews I've seen with Christoph Waltz, he seems like a pretty smart, kind type of person who's funny. He's kind of a reserved, hilarious person. A gentle humor, a dry wit about him that I enjoy. Commodore Boone says new video trailer released and Monday morning full video released. What? It's always good. It's always an accomplishment to release videos. It's tough to do. I've been releasing videos on the new second channel, the SUPEREGOTASTIC, which is the new comedy channel for Egotastic Funtime. I don't know. I got probably 5 or 6 videos up on there, and then also keeping its head above water by doing shorts as well. But it's only been 1 week of the SUPEREGOTASTIC, so I've been spending a lot of time over there getting it all, prim and proper and YouTube-y and all that stuff. Because right now with this channel being demonetized, basically, like I said in the last stream, I'm a YouTube intern. I'm not putting out any videos on this channel right now until they give me my monetization back, which won't be until either the very end of this month or hopefully the very beginning of April, assuming they give it back to me at all. I still have a lot of audio clips. The audio clip that they buzzed me with, the end screen of my videos last year, had an audio clip in it, and I'm still going through and erasing that segment, the audio of that segment, out of every video. So even if it's just a video of me chatting just like this, or just interviewing Seth or any of the rest of the Orville crew, even if it's just that, it's just me and them talking, it gets flagged by the algorithm. But so I'll just keep plugging away and getting that stuff released out of the video. They're working on, well, I think I already got kind of the rights to use it now. They've been working on my behalf to get me the rights to use that, which I'm pretty sure I have now, but it doesn't matter to the algorithm. They set off what they do, and now I have to go through the whole algorithm thing to get monetization back, hopefully within a timely manner. But their timely manner is probably got to wait a month. So I'm basically dead in the water for a month. But if some big Orville news comes out, I'll be right here to inform everybody about it. JP, do you watch Carnival Row? I watched the very first episode of the first season when it first came out. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. It's an interesting new type of universe. But for whatever was going on in my life at that time, I think it was just a lot of content creation I was doing. I never kept watching it. Didn't it get canceled and then uncanceled? I can't remember, but I know they finally started making more. But I did find it very interesting. Kevin Scott, fun fact: 1 through 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4 is a blues scale. Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. Oh, Brian Dawkins says, check your PayPal. Check your PayPal. Well, I can do that actually on my desktop now. I don't have anything showing. I'll do it right now. Checking it out. Checking it out. Brian Dawkins, thank you so much for that adjacent super chat, since you can't super chat anymore on this channel. Using my PayPal. Thank you so much for helping to keep the lights on. I even turned the lights on. They're kind of half-mast right now. I decided to open a window, get some sunshine in here for the first time in a month. Because that's kind of like free light right there, isn't it? But thank you so much, Brian. Huge support of the show. Very much appreciated. Very much needed in this dire time. Diretastic fun time. Thank you so much. Season 2 was delayed because of COVID, as it should have been. You know what? The restrictions for filming, which are still in place right now for the most part, well, not the most part, for the some part, you still got to wear masks and stuff. All the movie studios are still being pretty careful, even though in California they just lifted all COVID restrictions, and most stuff is filmed in California. I was thinking about this yesterday. It must suck. It must suck to film anything right now. I mean, I used to wear the mask all the time when I went out. I very rarely went out. Some of the mask stuff was one of the things that made it where I didn't want to go out so much. Besides just the fact that other people get in my way when I'm trying to drive. They all got cars as well. And I'm like, get out of my way. And, I'm zooming around in the Egomobile. But it must suck to film anything right now. I mean, it's not as strict as it used to be, but it's kind of a pain, right? I'm surprised anything's getting made right now. But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, shows like that, they got to do a lot of outdoor, like, scenes where they're walking through the streets, cobblestone streets, and they got all these people on the street, and they can't be wearing masks, even though a lot of them have, like, fairy tale masks, I guess. Should be here in Florida, don't have to wear a mask. Well, we haven't had to wear a mask where I live in 2 years or so. They quit that pretty quickly. So out here, it's fine. But if you're, on a film set or something, I'm sure they still have some regulations that they have to follow. But eventually that'll be, hopefully, nothing else crazy happens. Something crazy is always happening. But hey, now it's balloons. I don't worry about balloons. It doesn't bother me, those balloons. There's the places where they film stuff, you still got to follow all the restrictions, but that'll be lifted at some point. I'm playing 1-4-1-3-1-3-1-3-1-4-1-4 in my head right now. But actually, it's funny that you bring up blues, because it's been a while since I've played electric guitar. I always preferred acoustic. Well, when I was younger, I preferred electric, and then I got older, and I preferred acoustic because you could just pick it up and start playing. But I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go back to electric, and I'm going to teach myself some new styles of music than what I was into the first half of my life. Now that I'm in the second half of my life. John Fox, work in a nursing home in New Jersey. At work now, still need masks. Oh yeah, well the elderly would be the most at risk. So I mean, that makes sense. With or without a pandemic, that probably makes sense. But man, I do not. I want to thank you, John Fox, actually, for working in a nursing home. I know that is a very tough job, with or without masks. My mom used to do that years and years and years ago. And she just said she couldn't do anymore because it's so heartbreaking. Because you become friends with these lovely older people, and you lose them all the time. I would have a hard time with that. What else? Right now, I'm also watching with Jessica. Well, we watched all of it together, but we're watching Devil in Ohio, which is a new series on Netflix, which is, kind of a cult thing. I'm enjoying it. It's okay, but it kind of feels like a regular TV show mixed with this cult aspect of it. And it doesn't have a lot of stuff being explained. We've watched a lot of episodes at this point. And it's always setting up something for you to be like, oh, I wonder what that's about. And then you don't really get an answer to any of it. And then all of a sudden, it's just a regular stuff happening. Teenager stuff over here, adult stuff over here. So I'm hoping for some answers soon, or else I'm just going to say, I'm done. You got to answer stuff. Dear TV shows, if you're going to have a 8-10 episode series, you have to set up questions in the first 3 or 4 episodes. Cool, that's what you're supposed to do. But at some point, you got to start answering some of the questions that you've raised. I'm talking to you, Devil in Ohio. But otherwise, it's pretty decent. It's a pretty okay show. Doesn't have like very many explosions or pew-pews. And you guys know I like explosions and pew-pews. But I want to know what you guys have going on this weekend. We hardly talk about that, and we should. This is a community of ego-panions. We are the egotastic, you guys. Have you guys seen the trailer for Cocaine Bear? you know, I've been hearing about Cocaine Bear for months now. And I'm like, God, that sounds so stupid. Sounds like another Sharknado type of thing. And then I finally actually watched the trailer. It came out with a regular trailer, and it looks pretty decent. It looks funny. I'm like, oh, it's just a comedy. And it's got some good people in it. Brian Dawkins, my new favorite show, Son of a Critch, has one episode left. It is about Canadian kids in the 1980s. Is that show on not Netflix? Is that show on Hulu? Because that name sounds familiar. I think I keep seeing something, a thumbnail for something that sounds like that. But I love stuff that's about the 80s and the 90s. Because that's my world. I grew up, the elementary years were in the 80s and the teenage years were in the 90s. I love that stuff. Jonathan Perez is stuck at work all weekend. I remember that, the weekend days. I worked a lot of retail in my life. Sometimes high-end retail, low-end retail, before I moved on to doing transcription work for TV shows. And then after that, I did, for like 8 years, I did, I printed up blueprints for construction companies. And I liked that job because the weekend, you always had the weekends off. But all the retail stuff is weekends, weekdays. Your schedule's always changing. It's never set. And there was a lot of weekends where you have to work the whole dang thing. And they still figure out how to not give you enough hours. But it feels like you're always there. They have a new animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie coming out soon, and the trailer releases on Monday. Man, I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up, but I can't figure out exactly where I fall, what side of the fence I fall, because I'm like, okay, I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, but why are the new young generation still have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? When they like never come out with, there shouldn't be anything from the 80s or the 70s still being made today for a new generation. Every generation should have their own new stuff for them to when they get older say, oh, back in my day we had a show that was about, I don't know, warthog lounge singers. Why don't they make a warthog lounge singer show? But I still love me some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Splinter taught them to be ninja teens. Just so when the evil Shredder attacks, those turtle boys, they cut no slack. Static also says it's being directed by the guy that made The Mitchells and the Machines. I believe I watched that movie. It's like that family, and then all of a sudden aliens are attacking, and they're trying to, I guess, survive. You know, stuff kids like. A family show. Yeah, that was funny. Well, that's good. If that guy's directing it, then it should have some good humor, which I think Ninja Turtles should have, and some good little action scenes. I mean, even though there was no humor, I don't think, really, to the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the comic book. Those kids were hardcore, and they all wore red bandanas. Adrian Nash, welcome. Still moving my parents into assisted living, and my husband is staying with his mom 24/7 while she is in hospice. I'm sure I'm grateful to be healthy. Right? I mean, to see your parents deteriorate, which I'm probably going to be getting to that point within, hopefully way later, but it's getting there. My mom's in her mid-late 60s, and I haven't seen her very much for the last 13 years. So every time I do get a chance to see her, she looks very different, and I'm like, oh, but then, she's still her, so makes me feel better. But she's moving out here in 12 days, so I'm excited to spend a lot of time with her, get caught up, and be the son that I should have been the more attentive son that I should have been when I was younger. I wasn't. I love my mom. I was great to my mom, but I never visited. I was always doing my own thing. When I did visit, it was a holiday and I stayed for like 2 hours. So I hope your parents are okay with the idea of assisted living. And I'm so sorry about your husband's mom. That's the stuff I worry about. I do not want it to happen, but one day it will happen. Brian Dawkins says, I saw Cocaine Bear. It was okay. Wait till it streams. I am waiting until it streams. I do that with most stuff now. Most stuff comes out to stream pretty dang quickly from the theater release. But I do plan on absolutely seeing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in theaters. And I'm sure Ant-Man and the Quantum Whatevers will be on Disney Plus sooner than later. Oh, I don't have Disney Plus right now. This is a bad time to sign up for a new streaming service. That's why I was not able to see The Mandalorian. I planned on watching The Mandalorian. I didn't realize that I didn't have a subscription anymore. And I was like, oh, let's check it out. Oh, I don't have it. Got to sign up again. I was like, no, this is probably the wrong time. I'll wait till I'm remonetized. Static Path says Jackie Chan is going to voice Master Splinter in the movie too. Oh, I like that. I like that because I love Jackie Chan. Love me some Jackie Chan, but yeah, he's probably the right age and the right style. He's the right type of person to do it. What? There's 6 turtles in the comic books? That I do not remember. I mean, I've got, my friend was all into the comic books. So I would look at the comic books a little bit. But then the cartoon came out. Or was the cartoon before the movie? I feel like the cartoon was first. And then they made the movie. I feel like the movie came out in 1989. But it could have been 90, I guess. 91. Anyway, I love that movie. I got it when it came out in theaters. Went and saw it a couple times. And then it came out on VHS. And I just watched it every day. But at that age, that's what we do. We like repetition when we're young, and then we like it again when we're older. You like I haven't seen any of the newer Ninja Turtle live action stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, the Michael Bay ones. I saw a little bit of one of those. I just don't like Michael Bay movies. They all look like music videos. But the turtles look pretty cool, I thought. Yeah, nothing beats a great mom. I agree. I wish I understood that when I was younger, but now I understand it, and I'm so excited to get the opportunity to be the amazing son that my mother has always thought that she always treated me like I was. Now I get to be that. I get to fill those shoes. I'm gonna try. Can you claim streaming subscriptions as a business expense? Yes, and I do. John Burns, whoa, does this mean your channel is no longer demonetized? No, I will be demonetized for the rest of this month. I am sure of it. I mean, fingers crossed I'm able to get the robots to flip the switch back on. But, and I think I will, but I just don't know if it'll be, I don't think it'll be before the end of the month, or right at the end of the month, which won't even mean anything really, because everything is like scheduled a month ahead of time when it comes to getting paid out by YouTube. But yeah, we are completely demonetized here. We're just hanging out for the sake of hanging out. Static says, yeah, in the new Ninja Turtle comics by IDW, there's the 4 original turtles. Then there's Venus de Milo and Jenica. Oh, they got 2 girl turtles. Girl turtles. Turtle girls. It rhymes a little bit. Hey, Karate Kid, I did come out in 1990. It did. I came out in 1990. It did come out in 1990. Yeah, I figured it was right about then. Adrian Ash says, thanks for the kind words, JP. I am off to start my day with the folks. Glad to hear that you are going to be reconnecting with your mother. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I think about it all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a daily countdown. Right now it's 12 days. But I remember back when it was 14 days. And someday soon it'll only be 12. No, wait. Oh my gosh, it'll be 10 days away at some point. Man, I need to look at the calendar and see what day that's going to happen. But thank you, Adrian. Very much appreciated. Now I got the Ninja Turtle song stuck in my head. That's the way it goes with me, though, you guys. If I don't have Ninja Turtle stuck in my head, what you know what I have stuck in my head a lot is the soundtrack to Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which is dumb. I don't know why I have that. I've only seen the movie a handful of times, decades ago. Michael Bay didn't mind being called Hitler by Megan Fox, but Spielberg had different thoughts how Megan got fired. Yeah, I don't even know. I think I've heard a little bit about that drama, but I do know that Michael Bay is notoriously kind of like a jerk, I guess. I mean, I don't know the dude. I just know I don't like his explosions in action as much as I like other people's explosions and actions. I don't like shaky cam. Shaky cam's okay in certain moments, but if it's just too much shaky cam, kind of makes me mad a little bit. I'm like, I want to see some of this movie. I don't want to be all shaken. Don't they have stabilizers? No, it doesn't matter because I remember I think it was the movie The Island, and I was watching a behind the scenes of that, and it shows him filming, and he's there behind the camera, and he keeps just shaking the camera, shaking the camera, shaking the camera, shaking the camera. And then, of course, in the Transformers movies where you have all the shaky camera, there's not even really a camera there because it's all done in a computer. So that shaky camera is just something they programmed into the effects. The Egotasticals trademark it. It'll be my band. If I do a band, it'll be the Egotasticals. No, I'm not going to do a band, you guys. I'm not going to go outside to a club with a bunch of drunk people. I want to be at home getting ready to go to bed. That's what egotastic means nowadays, is being safe and comfortable and about ready to go to bed. Getting a full night's sleep is very important for the brain, you guys. And for the longevity of your mortality, help you live longer. I'm just learning that now. Think how The Room would have been different if Michael Bay had directed. Someone throws a water bottle and it explodes. You're driving me crazy, or whatever he said. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Michael. Did you ever see that spoof that Seth Rogen and What's His Nuts did on The Room? It was pretty good, but you got to know what The Room is to truly enjoy it. But once you know what The Room is, you don't have to watch The Room to know what The Room is. Just go find a commentary video on it, 10 minutes long, and and it's pretty funny. I enjoyed it. Remember Transformers animated movie? Of course. Didn't Optimus Prime die? Oh, said it right there. Kids in tears with Optimus Prime got killed. I was just learning to love. Boom, lights out. Goodbye, Optimus Prime. Till we meet again. Optimus Prime comes back with a Hemi engine. James Franco, that's exactly it. Well, I don't know if he wanted to do so much acting anymore. He went and became a professor at some, I don't know, at Harvard or something like that. So I mean, it teaches probably acting or something like that. But he went and became a professor, and he still does the occasional little acting thing here and there. And I think his brother is the one that's doing all the acting in the family now. But I'm sure James Franco will show up every once in a while. Vulcans sleep a lot. Yeah, it's just like when Seven of Nine had to go into a regeneration chamber every night. It's the same thing for us. When we sleep, we are regenerating, like legitimately. It's not like an opinion. We are literally regenerating. Our brains are being reset. Um, it's like when you got to turn off your computer sometimes, and then wake it back up to make it work more betterer. It's the same thing. Vulcans probably don't mind sleeping a lot because their lives are pretty dang long. Well, the sleeping might help with that. But also, it's like, I'm not losing any time. I got so much time. I don't need all this being awake through the whole thing. Being awake all the time is illogical. But, oh man, Transformers. I was so into the cartoon, so into the TV series back in the 80s. I actually did not like the films at all, even though they look cool. The Transformers look cool. Optimus Prime look cool. I just did not like it at all, and I think it's probably because of Michael Bay's directing. And it was definitely that was the one where I'm like, why is there so much shaky camera? This is all computerized. They should be able to make it where you can see everything going on. I'm trying to think of a Michael Bay movie that I did like. I thought The Island was okay until the end, but I can't even think of one. But I know there's got to be one out there. Like I don't like M. Night Shyamalan stuff, right? Because the first few movies were pretty good. I mean, Sixth Sense, you can't beat that. That was one of the best reveals ever, and that's why they gave him infinite money to make all the movies he wants forever and ever and ever, because that was so good. And then of course Unbreakable was pretty dang good. And then everything after that I just kept getting, he's trying too hard every time. But he did come out with Old. Oh, I like Signs. Signs was fun. Old I thought was decent because it was just kind of like I didn't like the explanation at the end, but the mystery was pretty good. And I do want to see Knock at the Door because it's got Batista in it. I like everything with Batista in it, but I just hope the ending is okay. Usually, I like Shyamalan movies until the end, and I'm like, oh really? But sometimes he comes through with an okay ending reveal. I'm just like, stop having movies where you have to have a reveal. Just make a regular movie, Shyamalan. Shyamalama ding dong. Yeah, I thought Franco got hardcore canceled too. There was something I hardly pay attention to those stories because it's just usually drama, someone that has nothing to do with me. But I know that he was doing all that teaching stuff before whatever the thing that canceled him, before that ever came around. The Island was actually okay, but it was a flop. Yeah, I do remember it being a flop. That was like the mid 2000, or well, mid, how do you even say that? The mid knots. The early to mid knots that came out. I want to say the mid knots. Or is it the aughts? Did we ever agree on that? Was it the 2000 aughts or the 2000 knots? I'm getting into this kick where I want to go back and start watching old well, I hate calling them old, but old 80s movies like this. Like I remember loving Stakeout and Stakeout 2 with Emilio Estevez and Richard Dreyfuss. All those old just regular movies that weren't huge franchises or anything, but I remember them being movies that I liked. Everything now has to be a big old franchise, or oh, this director or that director or this person's in it. I'm like, movies just used to be movies, man. I always appreciate movies that have no chance of ever becoming a franchise. Like, there's a new movie coming out with what's his face from I know his name too. Adam Driver, called, I think it's called 64 or 65, where it takes place like 64, 65 million years ago, and him and a kid fly from a spaceship and they land on Earth, and there's dinosaurs and stuff, and I'm assuming that they're the ones that become Earthlings. I mean, humans. Maybe we evolved from them or something like that. Anyway, it looks like a great fun movie, but there's no way they're gonna make more of it. I appreciate that. Hopefully the movie doesn't suck, but I will be waiting to watch that on streaming. He got accused of bad things. James Franco, Seth Rogen cut him off. No longer friends. Oh man, even Seth Rogen cut him off. Now that must be pretty bad. He must have really did some stuff. That must be beyond being accused and actually like are guilty of whatever it is. So now it's up to his little brother Franco, the little Franco, to make all the movie money, I guess. I enjoyed Little Franco Jr. in that movie. Was it Eddie Murphy movie? That Dracula movie that came out. No, who is that? Who is the star of that movie? Anyway, Netflix came out with a little Dracula movie, a vampire movie, last year at some point, and Little Franco Jr.'s in it, and I thought it was pretty good. Oh, Jamie Foxx, that's who's in it. Good morning, Philip Gaming. I really wanted to like White Noise. I watched that because the trailer, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of quirky. I like that stuff. I ended up not liking it at all because it was just stuff happening, and there was weird stuff happening. I wanted everything to come together to be, and I thought it was mostly going to be that whole air toxic event drama going on, but that was just one little part of the movie, wasn't it? I think I just didn't like I especially didn't like the dialogue. It was all the director's fault. I liked all the performances. And actually Adam Driver I really enjoyed his performance in it. I just didn't enjoy the directing on it, I guess. But I wanted to. John Burns, the movie Old, where a 6-year-old gets a 5-year-old pregnant. Kinda. But it makes sense in the universe of the movie. Pitch meeting, had fun with it. Producer guy mentions might having good grades, curing cancer instead of pregnant 5-year-old. Yeah, but they all aged quickly, so pretty soon those two young little kids were in their late teens or early 20s, and the hormones are still kicking in, so it's like, oh no. Sounds crazy, but it would happen in real life if that situation was happening. But yeah, I like the weird nature of the movie, and I liked all the crazy stuff going on. But the ending, I can't even remember. It just turned out to be some experiment. It always turns out to be an experiment with Shyamalan, and that I was like, meh. The journey was fun. I looked up. Jonathan Press says I looked up a movie called 69. I don't think it's the one you are talking about. 69. Isn't 69 also the sign for cancer? The astrological sign, not the actual disease. Yeah, that's true. John says, or Seth Rogen just doesn't want to get canceled by association. Yeah, that could happen because they got a long history together. Brian Dawkins, hello, tomorrow. I want to see that. That's on Apple TV, isn't it? Is a fun watch. A con man sells timeshares on the moon. 5 of 10 episodes have aired. Yeah, I am out of being able to watch that because it's an Apple Plus type thing. I'm not going to be getting Apple Plus, though Apple Plus has at least 4 things I want to watch on it, including that one. I saw the trailer for Hello Tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, this looks good. It looks like a Fallout before the bomb goes off, which is like the game Fallout always happens before the bomb goes off. Everyone's fine, they're happy in this super futuristic 1950s style world. Super cool idea they came up with. But yeah, I can't watch Hello Tomorrow. I want to, but I can't. Philip Gaming, he was in that Room Recreation film. It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. What's up, Peregrina? Socially appropriate greetings to you as well. Disaster Artist. That's what it's called. If you guys know what The Room is with Tommy Wiseau, if you know what that is and you haven't seen The Disaster Artist, I highly recommend Disaster Artist. It's probably streaming free somewhere. No, it's not that White Noise. That's a really great movie. Peregrina says White Noise being the film where the guy tries to listen to ghosts on the radio. Well, no, wasn't that oh, actually, I could be, no, I'm thinking of Frequency. I don't know if I know what White Noise is, the other version with the ghosts. I remember Frequency. Remember Frequency with the guy that played Jesus for Mel Gibson and Dennis Quaid? I love that movie. I think they came out with a TV show for that, didn't they? Yeah, for the movie Old, John Burns, maybe Shyamalama Ding Dong was thinking, oh, I need to do a movie where I can have 2 little kids get pregnant. I can believe that. And then he built the rest of the world around that small concept. See, I just want M. Night just to make a regular movie, just to prove he can do it. Just to prove he can make a regular movie that doesn't have to have the twist at the end. See, the problem with M. Night is he blew his load in his first movie. You are never going to beat the twist in Sixth Sense. That's the best twist that's ever been made in any movie in human history. You're not going to beat it. But he's always trying to beat it, or they're saying he's always trying to beat it. That sounds family friendly. They might only give him money to make a movie if it has a twist. I don't know if he's locked himself into the twist zone or what, or if he's just trying to always, or he's like, oh, that's my thing. That's what I'm known for. So I'm going to try to do that. Jeff B. Jaloja JP, may you get remonetized promptly. I hope so. I'm not expecting to get that until, to get back, fingers crossed, until the end of the month or the beginning of next month. But hey, we're dealing with a world of algorithms, so you gotta play along. I'm just thinking of, I'm just trying to use this as a good way to spend time building the second channel, the Super Egotastic. If you want to check out the Super Egotastic, link is in the description below. It has second channel written on there. Click on that, subscribe, but it is different. It is different. It's just going to be comedy, not reviews, no nerdy conversations. It's just putting out weird comedy stuff that I come up with in my head. Good morning, Vendetta Wild. But the film was great, says Peregrina. I don't know what it is about the name Peregrina, but it makes me want to talk in a hello everyone, Peregrina, welcome. I don't know why. It might be that green. Jaloja, one and all. Let's see here. I got some stuff. I got stuff going on. Do it, machine. Jaloja, one and all. But thank you, Jeff B. I am hoping to be remonetized. because content creation is the career that I chose. Back in 2015, I said I'm going to make this work. So then I was working my regular job for 9 hours, and then I'd come home and work YouTube for another 8 to 10 hours, and I'd go to bed and do it all over again. I did that for like 4 or 5 years. Finally raised the content creation enough to be the same amount of money as the full-time job. So I said, okay, now I can finally move in and make this a full-time thing. That was what, 4 years ago? So I'm going to keep trying to make this continue as a full-time thing once YouTube gives me the opportunity again. Are you saying we all evolved from Adam Driver? Yes, I'm saying that. I wonder what the movie ends up doing. I don't know what the end of the movie is, what their explanation is. But it'd be very interesting to find out. Because, I mean, that's kind of what they did with Battlestar Galactica. Spoiler alert. Where basically the humans of Earth were basically mixed. I guess you could say maybe we were more, oh, what is it? I know this, more Neanderthal style, and then the humanoids came, the Battlestar Galactica people came and mixed with us because they nasty, and now we're all the humans that we are today. I mean, it was kind of alluded to that, I guess. I don't know, I haven't watched that in 20 years. Pellegrino, you guys sound like you have a piddling contest, don't we? Johnny Five. Johnny Five. I remember seeing that in the theater. Short Circuit, I guess it was called, right? Oh, yeah, right there. Short Circuit is a good rewatch. Now going back thinking about Short Circuit, because they finally said, oh man, it was kind of weird having a white guy pretend to play an Indian guy. But I don't care. It was all in good fun. It was all about the robot. I love Johnny Five. And then I remember Nintendo came out with the Nintendo robot guy. It was Robbie the Robot. That was my Johnny Five. I was like, oh, it's like I have a Johnny Five. I remember having like the little action figure Johnny Five. Or is it Jackie Daytona? Jackie Daytona. Well, he'd pronounce it Peregrina. Because I'm from Tucson, Arizona. One of the best characters ever created. And a newer character that's one of the best ever. Did you hear that there will be a new Alien film coming out on Hulu next year? It will be called Alien Romulus. I can tell you I don't need that movie. I love Alien. Aliens 2. I even liked Aliens 3. Stop it. We don't need aliens anymore. I love aliens. Stop it. Because every time they make another aliens movie, it's always weirder than the last one. I like that second Alien versus Predator movie. That was pretty good. Boom. Thank you for reminding me, Jeff B. That Renfield movie with Nicolas Cage. It sounded so dumb to me when I heard about it. And then I watched the trailer. I'm like, oh, dang, this is going to be good. So I cannot wait for that Renfield movie to come out. That's the perfect type of comedy film that I am into. I'm getting back into my comedy stuff since I'm doing the comedy channel now. Wall R. Is that a sequel to Wall E? I love the social commentary of Wall E so much. But it was also a cute little, he's a cute little robot, wasn't he? Wall-E. But yeah, I don't want no more aliens. I love Predator. I don't want no more Predator unless you're going to do it right. My favorite Predator, even though Predator, the first movie, is so dang good, I love the Danny Glover Predator Part 2. I love the Predator in the City. I think is the big draw for me on that one. Predator in the City. Peregrina. It was an alternative spelling for my nickname, Peregrina. Same sound, different spelling. When that was taken, it was taken already. Okay, I get it. The new spelling took on kind of a kind of life of its own in the last 10 or 12 years. Totally get it. It's tough when you go to create a profile on something and the name's already taken. That's what I do. That's why I came up with Egotastic Funtime. I'm like, I just made all that gibberish up. No one's going to have that. And the Super Egotastic, the new channel, I just made that gibberish up. So no one's going to have it. Because so many people will start a channel or a profile. I'm mostly talking about YouTube channels. And they say, oh, check out my channel. It's called this. So you type it in, and there's 50 channels with that same name. And you're like, no one's going to find your channel ever. Because even if they want to find it, they're not going to be able to find it because all these other people have that same channel name. You got to make up words. You got to take words that exist and mush them together into new words. And then you will be always original. At least with your name. At least with your channel name. Alien is actually supposed to be a show. Now, that is interesting. I would like to check that out to see how they would turn the Aliens franchise into a serialized show. Don't know if I would care for it, but I would like just to see it as the experiment that it is. And you never know. Things can still win me over. I can go into stuff thinking, I'm not interested in this, and it'll still win me over. And then I become very much into it. I hear very good things about the Predator movie that just came out on Hulu. What was that, last year some point? They still promote it. I like that it's just a movie, so that it's only like a 2-hour investment. Though every time I see the poster of it, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, the girl's face with the paint hiding or whatever, I always think of Aubrey Plaza, and I know it's not Aubrey Plaza. So then I always think of Aubrey Plaza in a Predator movie, and I'm like, well, that wouldn't work. But I should check it out. I've been wanting to. But man, I'm just so in love with the idea of Predator in the City. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. But yeah, enough Predator. Some things you got to let it go so that they can stay good. If you keep bringing stuff, the same thing out over and over and over again, you're going to undo that awesome, the awesomeness of it, because you're just doing too much. Prey, that's the new Predator movie, right? Yeah, it's called that. I want to watch it ish, kind of, but man, I am just so, they keep trying to bring out every house named thing that they can from years ago because people know the name, and that all has to do with competition. There's so much competition out there. Everything that they try to come out with is something that you know the name of from years and years and years ago. And you love the movie, and they're like, and that's how they try to break through all the riffraff that's out there. I just want the riffraff. I don't want the known stuff. But yeah, if they did a great job with it, kudos. Now, if they did a great job with it, let that be the last one. Always go out on top if you get the opportunity to choose when you go out. Alien the show. I mean, it won't be about the aliens. It'll be about whatever characters they create, because that's all anyone's really going to care about. We're not going to follow the aliens. We're going to follow the people that are afraid of the aliens. But without Bill Paxton, I don't know if I'm going to be interested. I love Bill Paxton versus the aliens. Oh, you want some? You want some too? Ugh. Love it. Love it. But yeah, if they do a good job, I give kudos. But it is always a very thin line to walk. Oh, Peregrino read the Crichton novel. You know what? When it comes to Michael Crichton, I read, oh gosh, what's it called? They made a movie of it, and the movie was sucked, but the book was so good. The one with the movie with Dustin Hoffman, I think, was in it, and maybe Sharon Stone was in it. The one where they're underwater and that, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. They're underwater and it's weird down there. Okay, they're an underwater team, and they got a little underwater building. The book was great. I can't remember the name of it though. Matt Presley, I don't know what's going to happen with movies and TV within a generation. My kids don't watch TV shows or movies much. It's all about YouTube. Yeah, it's short clips. It's shorts. That's what the current generation likes. But even that has carried over into the previous generations. Even the previous generations are now it's creaking in the short YouTube videos, the TikToks, the reels. Even adults are losing attention spans as well. I've noticed that within myself, so I've taken measures to prevent that. But people have to see that within themselves first. It's a thing you have to do on your own. Society's not going to do it for you. Vendetta Wild says, I'd love to see a movie told from the aliens' point of view, portraying the humans as the baddies. Sphere, that's exactly it, Peregrina. I love that book. It was so good. I read it forever ago, though. But yeah, the whole YouTube thing. My stepkid's not super into movies. Very rarely is he gonna watch a movie, but all those YouTube clips. Luckily, he's not into TikTok or anything like that. And then just people playing video games on YouTube, acting a fool. That's what they like. Contact. No, I didn't read Contact. I read Sphere. Contact was it Jodie Foster that made the movie version of that? But yeah, maybe I'll watch that this week. Maybe I'll watch Prey. Tell you guys about it. Tell you what I think. Tell you if I think it was worth making in the first place. Well, the movie made from the novel was so at best. Oh, I'm sure that's usually the case. I mean, it's a whole different animal, a book versus a movie versus a game. They're all different, and they all have their different good and bad qualities. Like, I love the book Needful Things by Stephen King. That movie sucked, dude. That movie sucked. But now I was just thinking yesterday, I was like, I want to watch Needful Things to see if I still think it sucks. The we've talked about this before. There's very few. I mean, a movie's never gonna hold up to a book at all. It's extremely rare. It has to be a very short book. The Shawshank Redemption was a great film, and it really honored the book because the book is only 100 pages. It was a short story. Green Mile, a little too goofy, but made people cry, so that was good, I guess. The Shining was a great movie because it didn't even come close to being the book. They said, let's go a whole other way with it. So it ended up the book's great and the movie's great because they're not the same thing at all. They're not trying to be. Matt Presley, Contact movie was great. It was based on a book by my idol, Carl Sagan. Oh, Carl Sagan wrote that? Ah, The Pale Blue Dot. Love me some Sagan. Um, a movie that I liked. What was that one with Natalie Portman? No, was it Natalie Portman? Or was it Amy Smart? Anyway, they had some weird alien experience going on. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. It might be Amy Smart. Maybe it's both of them in the movie. I don't know. Where there's some alien thing going on, and there's some kind of alien bubble area that keeps expanding, and everything within that bubble is just weird alien-y, changing the planet. Can't remember what that was called. I enjoyed that. It was slow. Sometimes I like a slow movie. How about a film playing on the home world of the aliens, with humans colonizing the planet and trying to eradicate the native wildlife? I call it Planet Earth, is what I would call that, Peregrina. Going back to the aliens, like, imagine, I don't know if the aliens, did it turn out the aliens don't even have a home world? They're just something that was bred by some other alien creature or something like that. I can't remember. Natalie Portman. Annihilation. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Abada. Everyone, welcome to Abada. Here are your 3D glasses. Annihilation. Yes. I remember enjoying that movie. I turned it into a video game in my head. Make it into like a horror game with aliens. Yeah, books are always better. I read the Harry Potter books to my kids, and they were disappointed by the movies. Reading Hobbit now. Yeah, you always have to remember. And so I never really end up hating movies based upon books, because I realize, I always tell myself, this is not going to be the book. This is a whole different type of a format. A movie is only ever going to be a movie trailer for the book. WOT series is not turning out well. Why am I not picking up the acronym? WOT, spell it out. Brian Dawkins likes the Space Job comic book they started up last month. The captain who does just enough to get by and his crew. Now, of course, that comic is written by David A. Goodman, who wrote all of the Orville comics and has written many episodes of the Orville, and is an executive producer on the Orville, and a really cool guy. I've met him. Yeah, you can check out Space Job. It sounds kind of like it's supposed to be what everyone thought the Orville was going to be when it first premiered in 2017. Harry Potter. Yeah, now I'm starting to get flashbacks from the novel of Sphere. I remember almost nothing of the film. Um, but when you go down underwater into the underwater base, you your voice sounds really funny, so they have to give you like helium something to make your voice sound normal. Some sciencey theory. Oh man, you guys, it is about time for me to start getting ready for the family event that we got going on today. I want to thank you guys for joining me this morning. Thank you for having an egotastic fun time, cheering me up during this low period in the grand experiment that is Egotastic Fun Time. And if you want to try a brand new experiment, in the description below there is the URL, the link to my new second comedy channel, the Super Egotastic. You can become one of the Super Egotastics just by going there and becoming a subscriber and watching some stuff. Help get the watch time up for the channel so that the channel can become monetized. And I'll keep plugging away to get this channel remonetized so that I can keep doing stuff on the internet and not go away forever into the ether of society. But I want to thank you guys again. Support links are down below and at the top of the chat. Everything helps and is very much appreciated and helps keeps the lights on, even though they're not as bright today. They're starting to go out a little bit. We'll get them back on. I'll see you guys very soon. And as always, we all do better when we all do better. Now go read